Hi, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm a journalist, author, interviewer and broadcaster, and a podcaster. I also happen to be the person that Richard Harris asked in 1989 to write his biography, and now, a little belatedly, I'm publishing that book. It's called Richard Harris, Raising Hell and Reaching for Heaven. I've made a half-hour podcast, which I've yet to upload, about the book and where it came from, what it's all about. But while I was piecing together clips from interviews I did with Richard as far back as 1987, I found a really funny and also revealing clip we had about psychoanalysis. It came about when I asked Richard if there was a compensatory dimension to his decision to become an actor. There was, and I found that out later, and that's in the book. But here is the almost bloody exchange we had when I dared to raise the question. The man clearly is in a highly defended mode.
Well, you trace to adolescence the inventiveness which led to you studying acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? The bout with TB.
Yeah.
Two elements in that. Was there, number one, a compensatory factor to that, as you find with many writers, be it Tennessee Williams, who created an alternative life because he was dissatisfied with what he had. And number two, you seem to lose trust in friends, those people who stopped calling through the phase of your illness.
I think that is true. I think that probably I kind of felt I felt that being I suppose, I hate to use the word, it's too romantic to use the word abandoned, but one felt that, I think, when one is younger.
We can use all these words like art and abandoned.
Yeah.
I'll put them in. I don't think there's anything,
Yeah,
they're suspect, but I still think they can be valid.
Yeah, they're suspect. No, and now I feel it very romantic. When I was abandoned when I was 6, it's very romantic in a strange way. And as you get older, I think, as I get older, look back at one's life in retrospect, I laugh at such terms.
Did you feel you were
No, it's only, but I did say that. I said one felt that.
Yeah.
But now when one looks back, I'm using a term I wouldn't use now.
You wouldn't use it now?
I wouldn't use it now.
But if you felt it then, it's
But I'm talking about, I'm sharing my past with you now. I'm sharing with you now, but now in my present day, I'm dividing myself and saying that it's a very sort of a cliche, over-exaggerated expression. We tend to use things, certainly when I'm too wise now.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's good. Right, the sense that you were abandoned is what shaped you, right? So let's talk about it in terms of how you felt about it then. On those levels,
I can do that. I've got a great recall.
Okay.
I think that what really happened was, I think there are two things. One, that if we can get a proper if I had a dictionary here and get the right interpretation of what it actually means, the word abandoned, it's a wonderful word. Because it is only when one is thrown to one's own resources. Friendships sometimes can be a tremendous impediment, infliction on people. It can cushion you. They can cushion you. It stops you from. It can block. I think activities. I think it can hold you back. I think you can. There are so many dangerous things associated with friendships. It's a very dangerous thing. And I think that when I had tuberculosis and I had to give up everything at that time that I thought was important to me, that it was important to me, in fact, which were friends. You had friends, you had football, you had outdoor activities. We're all cut off. You're then thrown to yourself. Now survive.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, friends don't come anymore because it becomes, and justifiably it becomes, I understand, you become a nuisance. Right. Fuck it, I'm going to see Dickie Harris today.
Yeah.
He's still in bed. Are you sure we don't carry him? Mightn't we catch that bug if we go into his room? I mean, the windows are never open because you're not allowed to have too much fresh air. In those days you weren't. Now, of course, you do.
Oh, yeah.
How even medicine is reversed. 180 degrees. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It is. I'd rather hear about it.
Okay.
How it affected you, yeah.
No, but don't worry, but just listen. You're too impatient. You're too impatient.
No, you have a tendency to talk in abstract again, which is this kind of to go away on things, and I'm really trying to talk.
No, but I'm getting it now for you.
Circuitous route.
No, there's not, because even talking about medicine is keeping to a line.
Okay.
Keeping to the super objective of what we're talking about.
Fair enough.
Now you see you've thrown my thought.
You're talking about the friends not coming. Or
So no. So what happens, of course, is that you can, and I can see that point of view. They say, well, will we breed the germ? Are we going to catch the germ? Number one. Number two, well, I don't want to spend my Saturday night sitting down in a room chatting to some fellow all week. I was all night. I've done it, you know what I mean, week after week, and you get tired of it. So for one reason or another, and all justifiable, you're left on your own. Now you have to survive. This is wonderful because outside there, out here, what I have learned in my life is it is a matter of, you can only survive it. It is on your own you survive. That's why I'm saying this, that this is, when that happened to me, I was 19 years of age. I mean, that's a long time ago. And my theory of it hasn't changed. I've only, as I've lived through my life, and life has rolled onto me, I can see the validity of that maybe thought that sprung way back in 1948 or 49. I can see the validity of it. I think that you cannot. I think that we're on our own. You have to survive on your own. You have to create circumstances through which you can survive by yourself.
So was there pain and loneliness caused by loss of friends?
I don't think so at all. I mean, I think that probably at that particular time one feels a sense of being deserted, I suppose, at that particular stage.
So would that have led to creating this alternative?
Well, the alternative, who knows what created the alternative? Who knows? Who knows, did it start there and then? One doesn't know. Did it begin there? I don't think it began there or not. I believe that... I don't, because why when I was much younger again, did I go to see Anu McMaster's theatre company that came to Limerick before I went to a movie? Why did I go and sit in the first or second row of the stalls every performance of Anu McMaster, every performance of Lord Longford's group that came to Limerick, every performance of The Gate that came to Limerick? Why did I do that?
Do you know? Have you thought?
Well, it doesn't make a difference why one did or not. I was obviously drawn to it. I was obviously drawn to what was happening on the stage rather than what was happening in film, or indeed rather than going out and playing in the fields or swimming, or which I did a lot of as well. I mean, it's very difficult in a strange way to go back. I tell you, one of the things also is very interesting is that I studied psychotherapy in America for years. I was a part of an institution in America, and a very, very famous psychiatrist in America who helped Brian Wilson. He got Brian Wilson out of bed, if you remember. At the time they could get Wilson out of bed, he got him after years of being in bed. He got him out of bed. He was a very famous man, and I became a part of that school of that sort of. It was kind of a hobby or activity for quite a while, and I found one of the most fantastically damaging things about modern people, modern thinking, is they discover why. America is saturated with psychoanalysis for one reason or another. It's a very good thing for people who are damaged, seriously mentally damaged. It can be a wonderful thing, a wonderful medicine or a wonderful therapy, a wonderful institution for people to be helped in. But in America, it's become a rage. Okay. It's become very important. And so bear with me. I'm getting to a point here about what questions you're asking, right? It's a very dangerous thing to unravel. To be that so self-interested that you begin to unravel why you did this, why you're here. I hated my mother, I loved my father, I hated my father, I loved my mother. Boom, boom, it goes on forever. That is why you are what you are. It doesn't change what you are. You still are what you are, regardless of what made you what you are. And all of a sudden you have Americans feeling that it's wrong that I get out of my bed, the left side of my bed. Why am I doing that? And they spend $150 an hour in a therapist 5 days a week to discover why they get out of bed on the left-hand side. And having discovered it, they still will get out at the left-hand side, or they'll think it should be a time to change. They'll get out the right-hand side of the bed, which totally disrupts their own mentality and their own rhythm. You see what I mean?
Well, that's pushing it to an extreme. I would still
So
say that if
I don't think it's important.
Well,
The mere fact that I had tuberculosis, that I did go to the theatre a lot, that I was forced through, there's no question, I was forced because I got tuberculosis to rely upon my imagination. I began to read an awful lot, create things in my own head. That's a fact. Whether or not to answer your question, that is where that I got this, I created this compensation or not, is something I have no idea.
What about all those writers who have asked those questions and have, be it Yeats, be it Williams, be it Chekhov, who have gone into those questions and have found that you not only find out what you are, but if you want to change it, you can change it. The example of a person worrying about the side of the bed is the extreme form.
There is no proof whatsoever. There's absolutely no proof whatsoever that having changed it, it made your life better or more understandable. Tennessee Williams was a wreck. I knew him very, very well. And all the therapy that Tennessee Williams went to did not change his life or help him one bit. He should have accepted what he was and made the best of it.
Do you not think his questioning helped his audiences? As in Chekhov, as in Yeats?
I don't think it does.
We learn vicariously through reading or viewing or studying.
You think
their
that?
work. I think we do.
You think?
I do.
You do. You think
and that's why I think even the lyric of Your MacArthur Park, still wondering why, and now you're saying that the question why is one of the most irrelevant or damaging questions there is.
No, the point. What is no? Why?
Why?
No, I think it is. I think it's exceedingly damaging if you can't handle it. I think that I knew Williams very well. I can't discuss Chekhov. Neither can you because we didn't know him. Okay.
No, but I'm talking about that.
We don't even know. We don't even know that the results of the Cherry Orchard were the results of self-analysis. We don't really know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure.
I'm talking of artists who dare
But
to
Tennessee
ask
Williams,
questions.
certainly Williams. Williams's therapy happened in the latter part of his life when his writings weren't all that bloody good. Mm-hmm. You see, you'd have to convince me now that the day Tennessee Williams started to go to therapy, as against the day he started to write good plays. His earlier plays were wonderful. Mm-hmm. You see, Marlon Brando, for instance, I said to Marlon Brando one day in London, years after I'd worked with him, I said, it was a tragedy, I said to Brando, it's a real tragedy that all your great performances, all the great performances are lying in a psychotherapist's file in New York, and you paid $75 an hour to him to hide and put away in a file all your great performances.
What did he say?
He didn't say that. He laughed. He said it was. He laughed. He didn't laugh at me. He laughed that it may have been true. It may be a laugh of recognition.
Mm-hmm. And when you say you were studying with that guy, were you in analysis or were you helping?
No, I was there. I was there because my ex-wife, my second wife, Anne Turkell, was in analysis. Mm-hmm. And I thought the best thing I can do is, if I got to understand what she's going through, I must understand the process. See?
Yeah. She
was a typical American.
Yeah.
That every time there was a problem, she had to discuss it, not with you, but with 5 other people. She still today is like this. Today, she can't go out into this. She can't go out and buy a dress today without consulting, I promise you, without consulting an analyst, still, hang on, two astrologers and a psychic in Bakersfield.
Okay,
but this is common in America. This is common.
I agree.
This is very common. Why do you think that is?
Why? You've asked me why, Richard. You said why doesn't?
No, why do you think that is?
I don't know. Gross insecurity. You know.
It's a national disease.
Yeah, national disease, whatever it is.
Because they think there are answers to everything. They want cheap answers, quick answers.
Yeah.
There are no answers. There are no. But listen, but you're a funny guy. I hope all this goes down in print. You're a very funny guy because it doesn't. No, don't put that off.
No, I'm not. Just going.
Because it doesn't matter. I mean, you've come here saying, okay, here are all my questions for Harris. They're all here in bits of paper. I want to get the answers. But you're getting not what you expected, but you're getting an interview, which is very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
You're getting an interview, not necessarily what you thought you were going to get. So that you shouldn't despair. That's like you must go to therapy if you despair.
I'm not despairing, no, but I'm still intent on sticking to some of these questions.
Well, that's okay. We'll carry on.
Yeah,
but don't.
I know, I agree with you.
But don't despair.
I just this is a framework. It's a structure.
I understand, but don't.
It's like you said, Dean, and clipped.
That's right.
Fashioning apart. I had a skeleton.
Sure, but
you flesh it what way you want to.
Sure, but the question.
But I'm intent also on going.
No, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't. What I'm saying to you is, don't despair if they're not the answers you expected.
I shan't.
Because we're going into another area, which is interesting.
Other areas. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
It is. No, I won't despair.
Hi, this is Joe Jackson. I thank you for listening to this clip from the longer podcast, though all of what you heard there is not in the other podcast, which is called Richard Harris, Raising Hell and Reaching for Heaven. And that also happens to be the name of the book that is being published on November the 17th by Merriam Press. It's available from Amazon and also in your local bookstores, particularly if you live in Limerick. It's available from O'Mahony's, and they also post worldwide. The reason I'm emphasizing that is because Richard's brother told me recently that he remembered shopping there when he was a schoolboy, and I've no doubt Richard did too. I thank you for listening to this podcast.